One more mini vlog because we are coming up to the end of NaNoWriMo and I can see that 50,000 words and the end of my novel, and so I can't spare any words with writing a blog right now. So for this one, we're going to talk about what would you do in a horror movie situation, because that is also how the Waning got written. That and watching the French horror movie Martyrs. Hey, thanks, Taylor. Um, so I think everyone, when you watch a horror movie and you see the often outlandish situations, you think to yourself, I would never do that. I would never trip in the woods. I would never run up the stairs. I would punch that guy in the face, whatever. You have the scenario in your head of what you're going to do. But I don't necessarily know that in reality, if we're confronted with these possibly unrealistic and outlandish situations, that it is how we would react. So I guess I was considering this, and I wondered to myself, if I was ever abducted, what would I do? And when I was pregnant with my daughter, I had this strange fixation with this show called I Survived. And it was a bunch of survivor stories, obviously. And it was the person, just recounting their experience. And all the ones where it was human on human survival, the people who survived were not the ones who fought back or, tried to get out of it. They were the ones who played along and gave the assailant what they wanted or played dead or what have you, which is usually the opposite of what we tell ourselves we're going to do in that situation. So that kind of got stuck in the back of my mind. And then when I went to Iraq, I talked with a lot of people who like to share their stories with me, and many of them talked about how they were in different situations where people they were with reacted unexpectedly or they themselves reacted unexpectedly, and so that kind of compounded in my mind. So the three things converged, and then I watched Martyrs, and they all mixed together, and we came out with The Waning, where I have this high power woman, very dominant, very in control of her life for the most part, who gets abducted and has all her control stripped away from her. So you would think she would be not easily broken. She would resist, she would fight back. But when faced with utter hopelessness and a shit ton of physical pain, is that how we would react? Or would we instead do what needed to be done to survive, and what would that look like? So ultimately for me, what The Waning is about is a psychological breakdown. Like, what does it look like to be in captivity for a long time? What does it look like to slowly slip into Stockholm Syndrome? And also that question of, when you're actually in the cage, when you're actually looking at, this guy has complete control of me, what do I have to do to survive this? What are you going to do? That's what the book is about for me. Some people say torture porn, that's what I say. But you would have to find out for yourself and decide what you would do in that situation. I personally don't know. I consistently surprise myself with my own behavior. So, food for thought.